So, good morning to all of you. We had started chapter 10, that is e-commerce and more. Some of the topics we had already completed. Some more services provided by internet like social networking, e-banking, e-governance, e-learning, all these top and video conferencing. These topics will cover in today's video. So the first topic which I'm going to start with is social networking. I don't think you need an introduction about social networking since by now you all are using it, and only few like theoretical part like definitions and all you need to know. So for that, let me read the paragraph which I have given here. A social networking service is used to build social networks among people who share network service. Individuals are allowed to create a public profile, create a list of users with whom to share connections, and view the connections within the system. E-social networking services are web-based and provide means for users to interact over the internet, such as email and instant messaging. Some of the social networking sites are www.bebo.com, www.classmates.com. In fact, all in your different categories of social networking sites are also there. Like if you use WhatsApp, it's an instant messaging tool, but it comes under social networking since you are connected socially over internet to other people. Okay, so Facebook, it is a social networking site. Instagram, it is a social networking site. Here you can make your account public as well as private. If you have a private network, then only people to whom you are known, means whose data you have, you can ask them or allow them to view your data which you have posted on the sites. Same way, if you have other people who have their network or the profile as private, if they have your data, then only they will give you the permission to follow them. So this is about social networking sites. It is also known as a virtual community where you can form groups based on your interest and activities, where different people having same interest can come and have a discussion about the topic which about all are having interest. Then comes the blogs. Blogs are like, it is also social networking only, but here if you want some data to be known by all the people, you want to tell something to everyone, then you can go with blogs. It is basically as you maintain your diary, a log, like what you have done today, what are your plans which you are going to do tomorrow. So this you want to share with all the people around the world, then you can go with blogs. It is basically a journal or diary written by you. There can be different types of blog. If you're writing a short blog like Twitter, if you're using a short post or a micro post you're going to post there, then that will be known as a micro blog or a personal blog which you have done there. Okay, the person who writes the blog is known as a blogger, and this process of writing the blog is known as blogging. It is a frequently updated online personal journal or diary. It is a place to express yourself to the world, a place to share your thoughts and your passions. In fact, if you have created a blog site and you want to advertise about it, you can post the link on different social sites so that people will start following it. Most of the time blogs are public because people who want to follow you, they will start following you without your consent also, unless or until you are not blocking them. Blogs can contain information related to a specific topic like political view and all. Here, one thing you need to know that depending on the content you're posting, different types of blogs can be there. Like a blog provided by a news channel will be known as a news blog, where given by an organization will be known as a corporate blog, given at a personal level that will be a personal blog. Then a short blog, as I told, Twitter will be known as a micro blog. So different categories of blogs are there which you will come to know in higher classes. Now, some examples are given in your book. Let me read those also. Companies use blogs to communicate and interact with customers and other stakeholders. Newspaper incorporate blogs to their main website to offer a new channel for their writers. So the first one which I read will be a company blog. Second one which I read, it will be a news blog. Then individuals also create blogs to share their expertise or specific topics with the world. So that will be a personal blog. For communication within an organization, that will be an organizational blog. So based on the type, the data shared among people, the blogs will be named. Next comes video conferencing. Right now, whenever classes are getting conducted, it is with the help of Google Meet. So what it is a video conference when people are there live and they are chatting face to face with some devices. I'll let you know what are the devices required for video conferencing. So that is known as, and here two-way communication will be there. It's not like the videos which we post. They're only one-way communication. I'm only speaking and you're not able to interact with me that time. But when we communicate online, when we are live from both the ends and we can have a face-to-face connection, that time it will be known as video conferencing. That is another thing, that you people keep your videos off, switched off whenever we have a live class. But generally you should keep your videos on whenever we have a video chat like that. So video conferencing is a live connection between people in separate locations for the purpose of two-way communication by using computer networks. So here, what are the requirements? A video camera, a microphone, and speakers mounted on the computer, compatible software, and internet connection. Next is e-governance. There are many facilities provided by government online, and it can be from different categories, like it can be provided from government to consumers, it can be provided from government to business, it can be from government to government. So depending on the services, like if you want to apply some changes in your Aadhaar card, then you have that portal available. If you want to apply for PAN card, for that also portal is available. If you want to pay your house tax and all, for that also that portal is available. So all these facilities are available from government online. It is known as e-governance. It is the application of information and communication technology for delivering government services, exchange of information communication transactions, integration of various standalone systems and services between government to consumer, that is G2C, then G2B is government to business, and then government to government, that is G2G. Examples of e-government's website of India are india.gov.in. It's a government site where you can find different facilities provided. Next is e-learning. E-learning, when you're going for learning online, in simple language, it is your e-learning. Okay, so when like now learning is going online through Google Meet, we all are having that communication online, we are exchanging information online. That is your e-learning facility which you have. Other than this, people or students who don't have that type of facility that they can have that communication online whenever they need, in that case what they can do, they can have online sites where they can register, and whenever they have time they can go and attend those classes. Offline videos are available which can be downloaded and can be seen afterwards. So these are the examples of e-learning. E-learning refers to electronic learning, online education of any kind using a computer to deliver part or all of a course via the internet, intranet, extranet, audio or videotape, satellite TV, and CD-ROM. Like encyclopedia is also available online, you can go, that will also be considered as e-learning. So these some examples are given, like IMWire, ClassTeacher.co, Empira, all these sites you can follow and see. Next comes e-banking. Earlier when people have to do any banking transactions, they had to go to banks, they had to be part of that long queues and all, and then when their turn was coming, the transaction they wanted to, it was going on. But nowadays all these facilities are available. It is also available in two forms, either you go for internet banking or mobile app banking. Both the options are available. Accordingly you can opt for, and if you're going for mobile banking, apps from different banks are available where different facilities are there which you can opt for. So it is also termed as online banking, virtual banking. It is a service that allows customers to access their bank information, conduct financial transactions, make deposit withdrawals, and pay bills through the internet without having to physically visit their bank. It provides the convenience of accessing banking facilities from the comfort of their home or office. So with this, the chapter is completed. Along with today's video, I'm going to post the exercise also. Do complete it and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.